you'll see that it's definitely an interesting month. Hi everyone, my name is Gabby. I am 29 years old and I live in Vancouver, Canada. I am going to do a little bit late of a November monthly reset, budget reset. I think I'm just gonna focus on budget today. In the future, I think for like December, I want to do like a full December reset. I've been really loving Carter Sullivan's videos for like monthly resets for like years, and she's actually the reason I started doing them myself, and I've been doing them for like a year and a half now, almost 2 years. So it's something that I do every month anyway, so I'll walk you through that for December. But I figured for this first video, we could just have a look at my November budget, kind of check in with how I'm doing. You'll see that it's definitely an interesting month. So this is a spreadsheet that I purchased last year at the beginning of the year. It's like a full year spreadsheet, and I've never done this before. So I bought this from Etsy, and I actually really like keeping track of everything for the full year because you get a really good picture of like the year as a whole, and then there's like an annual tracker. And it's just cool to see like exactly how much you saved and invested and all that. And I think it just like makes you proud of your progress. So I'm actually working on my own spreadsheet that I'm hoping to sell in the future. There's definitely some issues I have with most of these trackers, just mainly because I'm a credit card user. So I find treating debts like any other type of debt where you'd be like, you know, snowball method, avalanche, all that stuff, it just doesn't really work when I kind of treat my credit cards more like a debit card that I'm paying a month behind schedule, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I will be working on my own spreadsheet, gonna try to tackle some of these issues, but for now, I do enjoy the spreadsheet. And I will kind of walk you through everything that I set up for the month. So you can kind of see here, we'll kind of zoom in on income. So I have a regular 9-to-5 job. My income is pretty standard. I think it changes a bit at this time of year just based off of how much tax I've paid already. Yeah, so I kind of budgeted my paychecks. I have a category for bonus, and this is usually like if I get e-transfer for anything. And I do pay for my family's phone bill. So my mom and my brother e-transfer me money every month. And that's kind of where I track that there. So, and then I have sinking funds. So if you're not aware what a sinking fund is, it's basically a savings account that is for a specific reason. So common things that people save sinking funds for is like Christmas gifts, for example. And I do have a sinking fund for Christmas gifts. So that is exactly where I'm pulling that money out from. It's November, Black Friday. So I'm hoping to buy most of my gifts on sale, and I supplement my income with savings income so that my credit cards can be paid off. Yeah, speaking of Black Friday, I think you will see here that like you have nothing to compare it to. But for me, I am trying to keep a lot of my spending categories pretty peeled back and more minimal than usual. And that is because I am expecting to spend quite a bit on Black Friday. There's definitely some items I've been noting down this fall that I want, that I'm just gonna hopefully buy on sale. And then also gifts, of course. So groceries, I set a budget for about $350. This is pretty low for me, honestly. It has been more expensive than this past like year for groceries. I think I used to like sometimes only spend like $250 on groceries. Oh, I live with my partner, so we split groceries. So I do find that helps with keeping groceries pretty cheap. But yeah, it has been hard to keep groceries down. I'm plant-based predominantly, like I don't eat meat or anything like that, and even then like it's really hard to keep groceries down. So I aimed for $350, which is quite a bit lower than the past months of what I've been doing, but I'm already at $214 and it is the 10th of the month, so I'm not super confident that I am going to be below budget on this one. So we shall check back. Hopefully I am. Eating out, $15. That is low. What is that, like a lunch? I don't really know what I was intending on spending $15 on, but yeah, I do, for the most part, try to keep my eating out very low. And that's just because I love cooking. I really enjoy it. It's like fun for me, and I don't get that much enjoyment out of Uber Eats and all that stuff. I find the food just soggy and gross. And if I can cut costs somewhere, I prefer it to be in this category for sure. $11 of my 15 used already. I don't even remember what that was on. So hopefully I don't go over budget on this one, but who's to say? Next up is coffee. So $15 is lower than my usual. I usually set this at 30 and I usually am always below 30. I'm pretty good about not spending too much. Me and my partner split expenses, kind of weird, where he is like the credit card that gets charged for Nespresso pods. We have like the subscription where it delivers every month. $30 is like just like me going out and buying a coffee at a cafe or like Starbucks. I tried to cut that down to 15. I did just reload my Starbucks card with $15 and I have $10 left. So with the Christmas drinks, I feel like this is going to be a challenging one to stick to for sure. Transportation, $175. My car is anywhere from like $120 to $150 to fill depending on gas prices. Expensive, extremely expensive. And I usually gas up about once a month. It's kind of dependent on the month and like what's going on. I am trying to do a couple of extra work from home weeks for my 9 to 5 this month so that I can cut some of my transportation costs down, because as I said, trying to spend less so that I can spend more. Shopping, $600. Yeah. There's not any good way of saying this. Like I want to buy some shit. I typically am pretty bad at shopping. Like, I mean, I enjoy shopping. I love buying clothes, home, beauty, fitness stuff, supplements, vitamins. I love it all. I'm the consumer that ads are targeting. I am so bad. $600 I think is a very fair number considering it's Black Friday and I've been like writing down all these things I need. So I definitely am gonna have to figure out which exactly I need to prioritize and all that. And I've already spent $275 of this. So almost halfway, and it's not even Black Friday yet, but I am going to return something. I bought a trench coat from the Gap that is just like way too long. So I will be returning that. Beauty, $343, a very specific number. Very specific number. I'm trying to figure out exactly why this is this specific. Oh yes, okay, yeah. I think I totaled up exactly what I wanted from the Sephora sale. And then I also knew I had a Botox appointment as well. So that is why it's so specific. But I did go over on this category, and I know that that's from Sephora. I had a couple of items I wasn't expecting to replace, and then I went to use them and they were done. And I had to replace them, of course. Next up, drinking and weed. I live in Canada, obviously. Marijuana products are legal. I did just recently top up on some edibles. So that is that $36 there. Very expensive. Edibles are very expensive. So yeah, not much room there. Fun, I budgeted $70. I usually budget about $100. Yeah, so we're at $13, going well. Not too worried about it. Orlando, he is my cat. He is my sweetest, cutest little bean. We do Pretty Litter and we get that delivered every 3 months. So that goes through on my credit card at $110. So I wasn't expecting to have to buy him food. I think I was hoping my partner would be picking up that bill, and it just worked out that I was on my way to the store. So I picked it up. Next up is health. Expensive month for health. I have had a lot of stuff going on in the health category. I, for the first time ever, have seen a naturopath, which I really enjoyed my visit, and part of it's covered by, I'm really lucky I get benefits that cover part of my naturopath appointment. But nonetheless, it is expensive and it's not entirely covered. And I do have some subsequent appointments I'm going for, and likely some blood work I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket for. So yeah, it is expensive. I'm already at $373. I still have a follow-up appointment and I have a massage booked. So I think that we are going to be a lot over on this category. Travel, no amount budgeted for that. And then donations. I had not planned for a donation. I don't know why, like I should. And then clearly all this atrocious stuff going on in Palestine, just, yeah. And yeah, I made a donation for some meals. So that's what that is. Is bills and subscriptions. So my rent, I split my rent with my partner. I live in a 1-bedroom in Vancouver, And I think it's really reasonable that we pay like a little over $1,000. It's actually going to go up next year to $1,100, but still incredibly reasonable for this city. If we were to move, we would be spending a lot more, hundreds and hundreds more. And then mobile 101. So this is not my mobile plan alone. This is my mom's, my brother's, and mine. It's a family plan. I pay for it. It's usually about the $250 mark, but my mom got a new phone, like add credit to our account. So that's why that is lower this month. Next up is my Ren subscription. So this is a subscription service for offsetting some of your carbon footprint. So I've been actually paying this for a long time, and I really love this service. You can calculate your carbon footprint through them. And if you do any like long trips, flying on planes, stuff like that, where you're really like adding a bunch of carbon to the environment, you can offset some of your carbon with this subscription. So I pay like a monthly subscription fee, and then they do both like tree planting initiatives and then also like carbon sequestration and stuff like that. So it makes me feel better at night. And then my TD checking, $11 a month. This is the price you pay to bank with TD. Next up is my renter's insurance, $23 for me and my partner. I pay that one. He pays the internet and the hydro bill. So that is my contribution. All right, next up is my savings and my investment. These two are my priorities, and soon it is going to be predominantly just my investments. So savings has been something that I have utilized as a way of spending money and not driving myself into credit card debt. So I have an emergency fund that I have saved up over the years of working. I have just been contributing to sinking funds for this entire calendar year. And I have sinking funds for like weddings, not my wedding, other people's weddings, because they're so expensive. I have an account for Botox and beauty. So this is like if I'm getting any beauty treatments done. And then I have my BMW fund. So this is for car insurance. And if I have any repairs, tires, all that, anything like that, that's where that comes from. I have an Orlando fund. He is my cat, obviously. And we didn't do the pet insurance route. We decided to just start doing monthly sinking fund contributions. And then that way we have a big amount of money, hopefully, by the time anything were to happen, that we could just pull money from. So that's that. Holiday fund, this is where I save up for Christmas. And then I have an Italy fund, which I contribute to because me and my partner are hoping to go to Italy in 2024, maybe 2025. We're on the fence. These are automatic deposits. So that's something that I'm really like big on, like huge on. Ever since I've been getting paid from my job that I got after university, I set up automatic payments. So I have money that gets pulled out of my account the second I get paid that goes into savings and investments. And this has just been such a great tool for me to save and invest. It's just like no questions asked. It's challenging for me to turn off. Well, it's not that challenging, but like it's an extra step that I'm just not going to do. And I just let it be. I know how much it gets taken out, and then I only live off of what's left over. And anytime I get a raise, I jack up these and I leave the amount that I live off of. And that's just like how I try to combat lifestyle inflation. So you can see here, I save about $720 a month that goes into sinking funds. And this is something I'm looking at changing next year. I really think that I have a lot of cash now. I have my big emergency fund. I have all these sinking funds, and I'm very cash heavy. And I really think that I can focus on investing now for the majority of my money. It's my last year of my 20s, and I really want to make an impact. And that compound interest, I'm chasing that compound interest. And then we have my investments. So my priority is definitely my retirement account. I have maxed out my TFSA already this year, and I am dumping 25% of what I make into my retirement. So I put 25% into my retirement, and then I also invest an additional couple, I think my total investments is about 30% of what I make. So that other portion I dump into my FHSA. And if you are in Canada, that is a really great new account if you are not currently a homeowner, or I think it needs to be for your first home, I believe. Kind of a mix of a TFSA and an RRSP. It is tax sheltered. And then on top of that, it's also lowering your taxable income. So great account. And I am trying to max that out this year as well. But you can see I dumped in $200, or my budget, these are budgeted amounts. So far, I've only gotten one paycheck. So this is like 50% of my total contributions for November. But yeah, so like that I feel really great about. And that happens basically every single month. So that's the beauty of the automatic deposits, is like, I know for sure by the end of the year, I'm going to have X amount in these accounts. And then if I get any extra money, obviously I will add that over. But I will say I'm aggressive with the auto deposits. Like, there are definitely moments where I need to pull money out of my savings to pay my credit card, because this is pretty high for me. I'm definitely not leaving myself a lot of wiggle room. Yeah, and then I have my debt payments. So this is where I put my credit card payments. This is kind of an issue I have with the budget trackers as a whole, as I feel like this is more so where you would put like student debt or a mortgage, for example. Like something you're paying continuously to and you're not adding to continuously. But I use my credit cards more like a debit card, because obviously, you know, you buy stuff, you pay it off. So it's very like transactional. It feels more like a checking account to me. So that is something I'm trying to work on for like my own spreadsheet that I'm creating. But anyway, this is where I put my credit card amounts that I paid off. So I paid my credit cards off in full. I had 3 credit cards. You can see there, I actually have many, many more credit cards. So that might be kind of shocking to people. But I used to love watching Graham Stephan, and he always talked about credit card shopping, where you every year open up a credit card that has really good sign up bonuses, and then you use that card for that year, and then you either cancel the card, or I would just downgrade it to the free version, because I noticed that I had such a big I had such a big amount of money that I could use on my credit cards, which always made my credit utilization really, really low. And I think you want that to be below like 6 to 10%, something like that, to have a really good credit score. So I don't have to worry too much about my credit utilization. Like, I don't have to continuously pay my cards off. I have a large amount of credit available that I'm not using, so I don't have to worry about it. So that's why I have so many cards. I am slowly like dwindling these down. Like, I just closed my CIBC USD Visa because it had an annual charge, all that. But my 3 main cards right now are my Amex. This is Amex Cobalt, but I just upgraded to the gold Amex. I will do a bit of a discussion on Canadian credit cards later on. I think that is something I can definitely attest to. I've had most of the Canadian credit card, and I'm just trying that new Amex one out. So I will, maybe I'll make a video on that. That's a good idea. And yeah, so I don't think I will go too deep into all of the charges in specific. I think that I will leave that for like a monthly wrap-up video, but I just wanted to kind of run you through exactly what my November budget was looking like. I'm a little late to set up the budget, but it's kind of like a mid-month check-in, like we're having to look at exactly where I'm at. And I can kind of discuss with you guys a bit more about my philosophy around money as a whole. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. If you could like and subscribe, that would be amazing. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions or anything, or if you would like to see anything else. I love personal finance. It's like a passion of mine. So I am looking forward to talking more about it here on YouTube. All right, bye.